he doesn't kill somebody. I know he will. I know he'll never kill himself for sure because like he's too fucking loves himself too much. But I can see him killing somebody else because he thinks that they're in a different dimension or whatever.
Like the story we ran, the bludgeoning his best friend with a bass guitar.
That's exactly what I told them, and he didn't even know why. And I looked at all the other pages before that. There is absolutely nothing out of the ordinary. It's all notes from band practices. There's nothing out of the ordinary. Like,
You would never find out if you didn't find that.
no, no. It was he tried to kill himself in the bathtub, and then he chickened out. So he wanted to go to the hospital, and they were looking around to find his wallet with his Medicare card in it. And they were like, "Okay, so where is it?" He was like, he started getting all nervous, and then they found his little book, his journal, whatever. And they were like, "Okay, something's fucking not right here. There's a bunch of knives with blood on them, and they're all over the place, not just in the bathroom with you. Like, why would you have multiple knives if you're fucking killing yourself in the bathroom? In the bathtub, like, fucking." And so they started to be like, "Oh, something's not right here," and that's how he got caught. Like, and that's what his lawyer was trying to fucking use as to get him off, was that the cops didn't have a warrant to go into his personal belongings. And they were like, "But it's fucking someone's dying. Everyone knows that if someone's life is in danger, they don't need a warrant." Like,
yeah, they got called because he was bleeding.
Yeah, and it's like fucking if they see something in that time, well, it's like they didn't need a warrant for that though. So I was gonna Google it to see if he got off, but I don't really want to know. Can you come look at these, please?
Huh?
I need you to come look at something real quick.
I don't want to.
I'm gonna throw up. I asked him if it's negotiable because I know exactly what the house is. I know exactly where this house is.
Dude, I like this.
I know exactly where it's where the train tracks are. When you first go into
Fucking
Chateauguay or
love
into
this.
Lachine, I asked him, is it negotiable? 1,750. I was like, but I know the area. It's not Duffcourt, but it's the second probably worst area. I know that this house has been on the market before
Is there
over the years.
fence here? There is a fence.
I know exactly which building this is too. It's super, super small, but he said he's willing to negotiate
There's
the price.
no bathtub.
Yeah, no. But if he's willing to go lower than that, like,
You take it.
you know,
Even if it's not lower than that, you still take it.
cat dog friendly. But I'll show you where it is exactly. I know you know. Fucking. No, because I'm going to do street view. Fifth of. Oh. Why isn't fifth there? Oh my god, you scared the fucking crap out of
Green
me.
cap, baby.
What? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, green caps. I know. That's also a machine right there. God, you're slow. Okay. Where are the avenues? LaSalle. Okay. Machine. 7th Avenue, 6th Avenue, 5th Avenue. It's a very short street. Where? There. 74 5th, right there. See, look, there's the monorail.
Yeah.
Okay. And I know exactly what building it is. It's next to the garage. Because it's not the first time I've seen it listed over the years. A few years ago, I guess they rented it out. But the neighborhood is fucking shady as shit. That's why I'm like, I know the neighborhood's not Duffcourt, but it's pretty fucking close. Like,
But I keep looking for that machine. I'm not.
I know. It's like
Well, I'm not
if he goes to 2,200, it's like we're gonna be capital F fucked. Like,
No, that's it.
so if he's not willing to work with us this year, like we have to find something else though. Like, and it's
That's it.
c'est la vie.
Even though if we move here and there for the next few years.
Yeah, but you know what? It's like it doesn't matter where we live. Like 525, we're at 600. A little bit down.
So I guess at this point you'll be able to drive me to work every day.
Oh, we're going the wrong way.
Unless
5, 6, 7.
unless Cody picks me up, He's on the other side.
Yeah, but you know what? At least fucking Derek, I'm done over it. No more argument with Derek about the fucking argument with this like.
Dom today, we're on the scaffolding. I don't think she knows who was listening.
No, he probably just
But he
fucking
said
can't shut his
that,
mouth.
Well, Derek already made all of his money for his retirement and everything with his other job. So Daddy's just doing it for honoring his.
I know his life is
father's
very
name.
hard. Yeah. Oh, fuck you.
Yeah,
Oh my god.
That's what he says. That's what he says at home around the kitchen table. And then he said that in 6 and 7 years he's ready to retire. So,
Honoring your father's name.
but he said in 6.
I
or
bet you
7
were
years,
fucking.
he's
You know
done.
what? It was like the best thing that could have happened for Derek that
Yeah.
Dean died right away
Yeah.
because he would not want to be taking care of him. He doesn't feel like he should have to.
What's what you put in on Facebook? I already got fucking in trouble.
What?
Be careful.
It's only on the YouTube.
If he finds us there, beat him up.
How about stop fucking snooping
No,
through my fucking social
that's
media
it.
and go
That's
do your
it.
job thing? Like, what the fuck? It's fucking creepy. Let's get a restraining order because he's fucking stalking me. Like, okay. 5. Hmm? 530. 525. Oh, wow. Maybe it's because of the fucking time of year or something.
What do you mean?
Because it's very... There it is. I thought it was a little bit more visible than that. There's the street. There's the building. There's the building. That's where it is. But I don't know what the neighbor situation is, so... Because the guy across the street has mechanic.
Look, go on. But there's nobody above us.
No, it's a house. That's what I'm saying.
That works.
But I don't know what the neighbors are like because there's a
Don't
guy
care.
with the
We don't care.
he's a
We're tough.
mechanic and he always has a bunch of cars outside his place. I know, but they're different kind of tough here. And they're
No, but we're tough. We're cool tough, and there's place for parking there. So.
let me turn that off. What was the other one? Market.
Got
This one. I messaged them and they didn't message me back yet. I don't know why I said that's such high pitch. Like
I
you
mean,
said
we
it,
have
like
another
it's
6
busted.
month lease. If I paid this rent right now,
It's in Roxborough, so it's just above $1.
oh, that's cool.
Mhm.
Ooh.
But I messaged her. I was like, I just want to make sure that it's not a room in a house, because a lot of times they're like renting a house, a
It's
room
not
in the house.
available. Yeah.
But she didn't answer me back, so I have a feeling that might mean that. I looked at her description, fucking showing on Sunday, June 15th, like a super long time ago. So
10 days ago. It's probably already rented.
Oh.
Capital.
Fucking, she's definitely not gonna respond after that. Fuck.
It's just so fucking
I'm already fucking making a fucking loud noise. Fucking, it's like obviously fucking in person, probably gonna be a loud fucking obnoxious loud noise. Okay. Is this still AV? It's probably because I'm English too. Oh no, it's a West Island one we're talking about. I think maybe there was one more. Wait. I guess not. At least not on Facebook Market. I think they're trying to discourage people to be using Facebook Market for real estate, like, because they don't want people subletting anymore. They don't want people fucking. Yeah, but it's fucking bullshit. So what? Every fucking it used to be like that. Real estate agent was a real fucking course you had to do and get certified, and it's hard to be a fucking real estate agent back then. Now fucking your daddy fucking gives you a bunch of properties, and all of a sudden you list them all on Airbnb, and you're like, I'm a real estate agent. Like, fucking retarded. That was very depressing looking at all that. Like, I've seen it fucking increasing over the years. Like, Chattagay used to be 200,000. On Island used to be like 600,000, and then fucking City was 600,000.
Are we out of tater?
What?
Are we out of tater?
We gonna make them?
Me?
I'll peel them.
You peel them?
I don't really have anything else to make with it.
You peel them and I make them?
Okay.
Okay, she say! Jesus Christ, that was loud.
That usually you are very loud.
Who, me?
Mm-hmm.
Why me? Because I can't down that. Why? Because I can't down that.
I love you. It makes me feel so much better.
Baby. That's how it sounds like when I text you, baby. Baby!
Probably Jeffy that fucking, I was like, sometimes when I come, will like pretend to give me shit, and he'll be like, oh, baby! And I'm like, oh my god, is he actually mad at me? Like, and you're like, no. I'm just trying to pretend like to be a normal boyfriend who's a dick.
Exactly.
Exactement.
Exactamente.
Yeah, I need to put something on this.
Hey,
Too quiet.
Hey.
Huh?
I can make noises.
Oh yeah, I looked up the hockey fucking rape thing. Hockey team that raped the girl. What?
Yeah, I'm listening.
Okay, no, we fucking.
Just, playing with the meat.
See, Crown rests case in ex-World Junior Hockey player sex assault trial, but they didn't say that they were fucking going to jail or anything. They just said that their defense was that she came in and she was very aggressively egging them on. 5 of them.
Yeah.
And then they filmed it.
As anybody wants to do that.
They made it sound like it was like, oh, we just wanted to do a threesome. And she insisted that we all fucking, and I was like, oh, wow. Like, boys will be boys. That's exactly what that is.
Men will be rapists. Boys will be rapists.
Yeah, and it's okay because mommy fucking loves her little baby boy so much.
Oh my god.
Mm.
Terrible.
It's disturbing. It's very disturbing.
Terrible.
Sounds like fucking.
Uh,
No, I know who it is. Okay. Yeah, you're gonna be so disappointed. Yeah, and everyone's super fucking shocked because they cared that much. Your relationship.
I mean, don't date for like 3, 5, 7 years, and then they'll be like, oh, well, so yeah. It was a faith-based plan with his brother because Max had his brother, because he had to be really a good master. The teacher explained, to Max that this thing over here with a plan. Get a job, go to school, get a job, get a lady, not leave, get a lady, because the cars start a life. His
That's
brother,
great shit.
yeah, that's what his brother did. He succeeded, and then he found a lady, but then
So what?
they paid attention, they deported him. Because this is a fucking dick with woman.
He's intern. He just like literally lying about something like that because you're like, I don't get it. That's fucked up. I love my boyfriend. So fucking normal.
Who?
Right? So normal. I don't have to freak out over anything. You be the most drunk fucking you've ever been, and the fucking sluttiest chick can come up to you and try to fucking hit on you. And I feel bad for her. I really do. Oh, I feel so bad for that girl. Like, I'll take it. I'm like, please, no, don't, for your sake.
First, put your fucking boobs away. That makes me uncomfortable.
I did that to Matthew the other day. I'm sitting right here, you're sitting right there, you just both in them. How's that? I'm like, okay. I'll just do it. Matthew
I'll
just
say
like,
that all the time.
yeah, I know.
In the party, I'm still going to
13 times.
Yeah, I know. And you guys go, ugh!
Yeah.
It's fucking hilarious. I love it.
again, five.
I don't think she fucking it's called Jesse's Beauty. I don't want to do that. It's fucking it does all this stuff is in a storage space. Basically like fucking place is empty. There's nothing in it. Honestly, it's like if you got out of jail and fucking started your apartment, I guarantee you the apartment. Like nothing in it. Like very like you're like fucking multiple times a day. Like what a fucking mat now or a tablecloth or something. Like
You're a cat. You don't want a cat on the top.
oh no, I'm like you're leaving this battle by the way. Like they are not ever going to listen to you. You keep yelling, fuck Catherine, like fucking don't live your day or fucking they're gonna stop. Just so you know.
Yeah.
The game with them.
They own you.
Yeah, no, you just made the game for them. Like I like other people's cats.
I don't like it.
No, it's all fucking. Once I'd like to go to a like a pet rescue and pay like $100 to go pick the cat or not. You know, usually ones that no one. Radical man.
That's the way it's you.
Lit. Grounded.
I'm in the moment. Right now.
So deep, bro. Such a fucking deep experience. It's gonna be radical.
It's like self-care, just another new term for narcissism.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I have to think about me and I think about other people, or you can think about other people and yourself once in a while. I think you need a Houston. You tell me. I need to do me.
Stop! The one. No. Okay.
Would you like it to go after? Okay.
Well, darn. Everything.
And when I got to the pharmacy, I literally took my fucking tools and the lady at the cash in front of me, and I just fucking ripped the box open. I took the fucking cash, and she like looks at the box, looks at me, I was like, sorry, I cannot fucking wait. Like, oh, you fucking. So almost done. What? Oh my god, he's fucking freaky about his song. Like he's basically saying that he fucking he raped her.
Okay.
Yeah, no, it's because okay, it's like one of the lines saying like fucking that he fucking pushing.
But it's like in American Dad episode where he goes, a little bit of stopping. It was bad, but we didn't know. When he was doing the greasing session,
Yeah.
he's like, oh, we were doing this and that. And we didn't know.
Tell me more. Tell me where did you get very far? Tell me more. Tell me more. Did you have a car?
Uh-huh.
Well, we just turned 18. Woo! That is like a little bit.
Yeah.
But you know what? It's fucking everyone's so sensitive now. Saying it to Jesse, I was like, you know what? Me and Flav, we can talk, but like, I can take this next joke, and Clayton Vibe's like, oh, I don't mean anything by you, just so you know, like, fucking, I'm like, don't do that. You don't have to do that every fucking time. I can take a fucking joke. Like, as long as you're not derogatory and being like, fucking.
Like, huh?
Yeah, that's funny. It's like, that's not fucking anything. Like, you take a fucking sex joke without being like, I'm offended. Or being like, I think they're hitting on me. Like, fucking joke. It's when you start being fucking inappropriate or like fucking insulting. Why is it? This is the Toronto station. Even the CJD doesn't have French app. But Toronto does?
Yeah.
Like, why?
Okay. I'm surprised they don't have any in Chinese. But. Secret ingredient?
Oh, really? Oh, mine's garlic. I'm garlic in it.
I put a ton of garlic in it. I put a ton of butter in it. I put it sounds good.
More butter, the better. Yeah, but the recipe says like you're supposed to like 3 tablespoons of butter and like 3 cups of water or milk or whatever. I was like, 3 cups of milk. That sounds like a lot.
That's if you fluff them. Like with the.
Last time I said I'm the fluffer, it was at a fucking job. Yeah. My job, and they all laughed because I knew what fluffer was.
You thought you were.
I thought it was like you fucking brings the party up, and then like fucking bubbles people up, and they're like, yeah, kinda. Well, no, it's kind of right. Fucking. See that? See what just happened there?
Yeah, I saw this happen. That's why I was about to say not more.
No. But that puppy, look at Alfred's seizure. Like I know it's not that.
Maybe you're just high.
Trying to preoccupy
You have your cup for appetite. Make some stir. No. No shoes allowed. Oh, that's not cool. Is that song? All the other kids. Baby. Oh my god. Oh my god. What? What?
with my mom.
All the other kids. Ah! Fucked you up. Ah. Whiskey. I know. Huh? Whiskey. Yeah, right.
How about I do sausages in the pan? No, I'll do mine sausages, but
Huh?
I'll
You can make
make it.
you just have to put a. I'll make mistakes. Fine. Put those on. These are good until they're vacuum sealed.
Yeah, that's what I said. A couple days after,
I'll
like,
just use them right now. They'll be good
Yeah, okay.
for a while.
I need to put something on them.
Yeah, I know. Because these will just need to preheat at 400. Like, and you squeeze them in the pan, and you put them in the oven.
You get Oh, where did it go? Did he find a boat up here?
Yes.
He found that outside. I pulled it out of his house. I don't know where the fuck he got it. I don't know what it's from. No, I think it's old. That ain't been there since like probably for winter. Like fucking. Anyway, I think that's what he ate out of six. I found each. When I thought it was six, I actually ate fucking people.
Okay, so ice. Woo-hoo! Oh my god!
Of course it died.
Why would it die?
Everything I touched died.
Baby! Don't touch me!
Don't touch me. Ever see that? Don't hug me, I'm scared. Oh, like pencil face. That was the weirdest shit ever. Ah! I didn't get it. I missed. There's a fucking mosquito in here. Sorry, we're eating Uno. Oh yeah, fucking mosquito got away. It's fucking somewhere.
Hey!
Drunk and you're still such a.
Woo! Hold that no more, no more. I always use that.
The brownie pan is in the sink. You want a bread pan? Okay. No, the bread pan will fit. No? Itchy. Well, I put the other. I was like, you know what? I should fucking know better. Like, I'm really too busy for. But I can still. You sound like a weirdo. But I love how they think they like having peace and conversation and like some like revelation that they had or like tiffany like oh my god yeah I could have done my own so happy with that fucking being the still being average person.
You judge everything. You look everything down. And you got everything in life. And
You know, for the middle class, the lower class. Time to that. Like, you know what? We'll be okay. I'm like, yeah, of course. It's easy for us. You know, sometimes you do this shit required, you get required. Like, I'm fucking, not worried. Ow. Yeah. Well, I have to do the dishes that are in the sink before I got to the rest.
Muffin bad woman.
You know what I mean? I made this girl a bacon bucina. They like shared the thin way, rolled bacon in a certain.
That's fucking
Yeah, you go to the
cool.
diner, you take the fake roses, you pop off the top, you slide the bacon things on, take some steel, what is it called? Cellophane paper and wrap it around.
We're gonna figure out next year.
Okay, that's what people in my life.
You don't like my lighter? You can pull my lighter, no? What? You would have been yellow one like this. You happy?
I fucking, oh, Effie's fucking hat is a strip club. I'm like, you literally fucking walk around wearing a hat. He's like, yeah, take $35 for it. Like, oh
What?
my God.
You paid for it on top of that? That's
Right? I was like, you're fucking, no, hey, that was fucking, when I realized that they were all fucking fake, we went to the Rose Bowl, and then they were like, oh, let's go to a strip club. And I was like, no, I'm really in a strip club. And then like, it was at Amazon at all strip clubs. I'm like, ew, it's like nasty fucking strip clubs. And they were like, oh, you guys go to the middle strip club first. And they were like, well, fucking middle strip club is fucking not even that fun. I was like, hey, fuck you guys.
I've seen the male strip club. I've seen guys that put up a show for a woman that goes for the event. You go to the women's strip club and it's just another girl that comes over there and like, hey,
yeah, fucking rubbing up.
smell other man.
Men is more about the show. The women is more about the rubbing up. And
Yeah. Gross.
I'm not doing that. And like, oh, some fucking women who are like strippers or work in the sex industry actually like their job and are mentally fucking.
Oh, you like the stuff?
Yeah, no, I'm not
Okay.
buying that at all. Well, like when I grow up, I want to be a sex worker. Like, I want to sell my vagina to men.
I want something.
Right? Like, fucking no little girl agree.
My potato, don't put so much potato.
This is so funny.
So right there. So right fucking there.
Ricky.
We will find that.
Oh gosh, the fucking some contractors that they're doing this driveway, like, watch out, everybody, see soon. First comment, yeah, someone has contractors and looking in the car for the car. Like, oh my god, you saved today, one suspect at a time.
The last contract we're up for this season, there'll be a huge double wall around the house with the chain. You need the thing. They were making their first company that was hired. They were making too much dust, 62 got calls. Everybody was illegal immigrants. Everybody got deported. So the way
Hey, you're really calling your dad's fucking latest to guys.
no, that was not
Yeah, but you know what? He's
So,
really
the second person that got hired to make $17,000 with that blackboard that never showed up. Now she's hiring there.
That's fucked up, man.
Yeah, I like it. Well, if you have the money, pay for it free time.
So like, you totally not take when you fucking bring another contractor, but fucking
No, shippable jobs. I told him about I said, hey, you know, when you asked for the 3,000 underneath the crown, you charged the lady. What?
Oh, you know it?
I told you. Oh, yeah, I didn't know that one.
Okay,
Yeah.
great. You're fucking dumb. Fuck. Wow.
Number back. Baby. Put the fucking
No,
gas.
I go through that guy's retirement. Everything gets fucked, right?
Okay.
Yeah, it's super hard to get stuff that is in the house. That's why you
Number back.
I use this really small.
Number back, baby. Number the fucking. Yay!
You're so impatient. You're so impatient.
But, hello, we're cooking.
No.
That's Thursday.
No, fucking just finding listings that are accurate when looking like a condo, not a house. A semi or a duplex, not a house. Semi-detached, almost a house, but still not quite
Calm
a house.
yourself down, Sharon. It's a condo, not a house.
And also a duplex is not a house. A room and a basement is also not how you say renting a house. Like your basement is now an apartment. Fucking, and they're like for fucking the same prices as our house. Like I was like, hey, you're looking for $2,000, but you fucking tell my fucking rent is $2,000. Like I don't double the dollars. Like,
Condo, not a house.
hey, now you're not fucking playing with that. Oh, you know.
Condo, not a house. I know.
You know, how many trailer parks do you know that still exist that aren't? Where are you putting people in shipping containers when fucking you used to live in your life or shipping? You know, all this is fucking options. You have a whole fucking lot of people who are like, fuck you, we're all about to get our lefties. You can't move fucking 30 fucking trailers.
Surely.
Like, so that's why they don't want people living in trailers. They'll put them in shipping containers. Like, isn't that the I think always rent it out to
Not a house.
like and there's a lack of space. Like we're the second biggest country. So
After Russia.
yeah, so I was just doesn't know what they're gonna do today. People want what? They want homes to live in. It's not complicated. There's people don't like to do anything. Students are down to live in small students or like the
Max is
whole
talking.
area and all that. Like
Max was talking about his plan of moving out and everything in a couple of years. And then he's talking about his girlfriend. She's like going to this dealership to get a rental because she wants her green card. I'm like, what's her green
a
card?
rental green card.
She works.
Yeah.
What's her green card? I told you guys. So she's gonna go do like a 5-year plan, pay like $40,000, $700 a month, and he's trying to explain to her, look, right now you're not paying any rent, like we're not paying that much either. Like, okay, you think you can afford it right now, but you're gonna actually move out and you're gonna be stuck to it 7 years. No, no. Her.
She works at sports and she's good.
And you know what she answered
I
them?
don't think he needs
You know what she answered them? You told me, you know what she answered them? She said, well, but you know, with your job, you're gonna get more paid, with extra things, you're gonna make more money. Oh, shit.
Oh, she's gonna pull out and put the top tape on.
That's why it's not good. Like cupcakes. You kill yourself.
You're your own fucking problem. You're solving everybody's problems because you're not doing it from order
Ah! Press the button. Oh, yeah?
I'm like, what the fuck? Like is it like that old? I think your problem is disconnect.
Just from Well, put it away. Quick, quick, quick. Put it away. No, $5 for fucking all metal. Go. And computer. We need this mask. No, I need this mask.
Oh. I stand like deer plant all the time. I'll be like what am I standing with? Look, here's the Revolution one. Revolution.
Yes.
Where he's in the middle, he goes back to the Neverland and his road up. That was a great fucking movie. Your people are the fucking worst. Just the worst. You people.
What do you mean by us people?
Obviously not black people.
Yeah, because we wouldn't say that would be racist.
I did. I had a black boyfriend in high school, so I can't be racist.
Well, at least you had a black boyfriend. It's like my cousin's friend's wife, son, whatever.
Okay, but second cousin twice removed, sure.
Hey, what is Trump doing? I want to know what Trump is doing because
Prime Minister Mark Carney says he did not speak with Donald Trump today before the U.S. president pulled the plug on trade.
We will continue to conduct these complex negotiations in the best interest of Canadians. It's a negotiation.
Trump
You
says
just
it's
call those
because of
Canucks.
Canada's new digital tax service.
Did it?
Which is Prime Minister Mark Carney says he did not speak with Donald Trump today before the U.S. president pulled the plug on trade talks.
I did speak to the president. We will continue to conduct these complex negotiations in the best interest of
Yeah, but
Canadians.
he's
Trump
it's not
says
like
it's
second
because
up.
of Canada's new digital tax service, which is set to take effect Monday. Known as DSTs, digital services taxes are a way for countries to target large online companies like Amazon, Apple, and Google. Trump calls the tax a, quote, direct attack on the U.S.
No, they put a tax on companies that they should very
Are you
very severe
guys
tax.
fucking actually
And,
retarded though?
Yeah, I guess they could remove it. They will, but I don't really. I mean, it doesn't matter to me. We
Oh,
have
he's
all
not
the
worried.
cards. We have all the cards. You
Yeah,
know,
We have
we do
all the
he's not
cards.
worried.
a lot
He's
of
not worried
business
at all.
with Canada, but relatively little. They do most of their businesses with us. And when you have people better,
The higher tariffs could spark retaliation and raise costs for both countries.
It's so easy. It's so easy. I have to be like, yeah, sure, of course, sure. Like, yeah, you're right, sir. So fucking easy. And you're fucking putting us all in the fucking shitter. Like, it's so bad. Okay. Yeah, but CBC, I can't fucking imagine it's gonna be fucking anything that's relevant other than them being like, oh, did you see his hair? And fucking, I was like, why would I care about his hair, honestly? Everything he just said, and you're like, his hair. He didn't listen to anything he said, obviously.
Why not?
Oh.
Why not Canada, by the way?
why? I mean, because this is about a different now. This is right now actually a much more important subject. We just ended a war that was going on for 30 years where 6 million people died. So don't ask me a trade question on Canada.
Okay, that didn't last. Speaking last hour
He's
from the
right.
Oval Office, Trump eventually took a
Like,
question
why would
about
I
Canada.
care?
Listen to this.
We're about to war.
We have
600
all the
people
cards.
died.
We have all
No,
every
but it's
single
like
one. We
that's
don't
what they
wanna
do. They
go
ask the
there,
same
but
question over and over and over,
they have,
like to try to get the clip that they want.
economically, we have such power over Canada. I'd rather not use it, but they did something with our tech companies today trying to copy Europe. You know, they copied Europe. It's not going to work out well for Europe either.
Europe is his
And
boss.
it's not going to work out well for Canada.
Europe is the one who's starting.
So as of right now,
Basically,
Trump
like,
says
fucking
trade
listen to
talks
Tucker
are off
Carlson. Can
because
you
of
read?
Canada's
Yeah, I
digital
don't have very
services
much
tax,
experience
which
or
takes
anything.
effect
Like, oh, that's
this Monday.
okay.
It's a tax on
Just
foreign
say
tech
what we
companies.
fucking
And
wrote
this
down.
afternoon, Trump
He
posted
probably
this,
fucking gets paid like
writing in
crazy.
part, based on this egregious tax, we are hereby terminating all discussions on trade with Canada effective immediately. We will to do business with the United States of America within the next 7-day period. The U.S. has known about the digital services tax for well over a year now, so what happened? We're going to talk about all of this
Quite
with
the
our
data.
political insiders. James Moore is with
We
us
tried
this
to
week. He's, of
fucking
course, a
play with
former
Trump,
conservative
and he
cabinet
won.
minister. Because Fred is
And
away,
we
and here with me in the
foolish and they
studio,
don't
Greg
care.
Liberal
Fucking
ministerial
UK,
advisor,
like, what does he give
and
a
Melanie Richer is a former communications
We played
director
with
for
Trump
the
and
NDP.
he won.
James,
Well,
we have a long
obviously.
tradition on this Friday panel of curveballs, many of them coming from the United
Like,
States of America,
He had
along with
all
the plan.
fucking-
So
he's
welcome
right,
to
he had
that.
all the cards. Like,
What is
what do you
your
do when
Trump
you're bluffing?
had to
Like,
say, and what the response has been from Canada so far?
fucking shit show, eh?
I always tried to live by the motto of always respond and never react. Go slow. And it looks like Prime Minister Carney and the video clip that I saw of him when he was asked about this by the media, he has that sort of dispassionate. Who knows? On one day, he's condemning Israel for their attacks on Iran. The next day, the B-2 bombers are leaving from Missouri to do a strategic airstrike. And then the day after that, he's yelling at Benjamin Netanyahu on the phone. Who knows? What I do know
Yelled at Benjamin
is that this
Netanyahu,
policy is
like,
nothing new. And
yeah,
or
not
whatever
one
else
of
the
you are
message that
fucking
was on
have
Truth
any
Social
fucking balls
by
to
President
fucking
Trump. He
stand up
mentioned
to
two things,
You
right?
guys
He
don't
mentioned
they
do
would
all your
call
digital
it
services tax. He
They have
also
no
mentioned
business
supply
left.
management.
All
It
our
was
business is
it was
done.
factually not true,
Because they
but
fucking
these
were
are
paid for
not
by the
new
Jews.
issues or new grievances. The fact that it comes on a Friday afternoon is
Yeah,
interesting.
bad.
Obviously, the tax was set to come in early next
We
week.
have those?
But
Damn
is a a challenge for Canada because there are constituencies in the country who support this tax. There are some people who think that this it does create a global level playing field. But there are a lot of voices in Canada, in the business community, in the creative community, who have a lot of problems with the digital services tax in terms of platforms, and it's really hurt local news in the country. So this is a spillover from C11, C18 digital services tax, and a broad policy that Prime Minister Trudeau put in place that Prime Minister Carney has inherited. So maybe now a reevaluation in the days going forward, because the President Trump has got a pretty jaundiced view of Canada's cultural policies, broadly speaking, and this is a particular peak that President Trump has found, and for which there's frankly a pretty large Canadian audience that agrees with. And well, on the other side of that, Elbow, we did see the Premier of Quebec, Francois Legault, today saying,
So now we can break everything.
Very difficult thing. Hoping there can be a resolution, but I wonder, here we are, 11, 12, 15 days, 30 days, and the president's over. I mean, what do you make of it?
I feel like there's been 2 times where the parents table those kind of things.
You ran your mouth when you can't fucking put them up. Like,
it's not funny, but it is.
no, it's not. It's not funny. You are laughing. You don't give a shit. It's not funny for us.
Oh, that's a good one. I like that.
Like, oh wow, that was awkward as fuck. They know there's a problem.
The knife is sticking to the fucking thing.
Relationship, and it's the funny stuff when Vegas also fun. The positive, every time you see those messages, particularly on Friday, you can't help but think, how are you supposed to have a stable relationship with the country? How are you supposed to have a stable relationship with the president who changes his mind so often or who throws these shots so often?
Because that's your
And I
job.
think folks
Because there are other people in the world that are not us. And that's your job as politicians to like be able to coordinate with other fucking country leaders.
I think a lot of people do business here. You should be paying taxes here. They pay their fair share.
I'm not paying taxes. I was born and raised here.
So I do think that
I'm not fucking paying them fucking shit
I
ever
take the
again.
point of what businesses being against this, but for a lot of regular folks, I think is that this is something that makes sense.
Is anyone saying that in Canada? Yeah, this makes sense.
Over the next few days as we go into Monday, obviously is interesting, but
Oh yeah,
yeah,
interesting.
I feel like hard to say.
Oh, it's cringe. It's hard to watch fucking
The lack of
Canada's fucking reputation being so fucking badly represented.
Flavor to a lot of this.
Oh, sorry.
You know, Greg,
Sorry,
I just
sorry.
remember we took a clip of the Prime Minister.
I got it up my nose.
The PMO went out very
I'm
calm. This is a negotiation.
Cut my lip with a split
We're
down the
keep
middle.
Working on, the
I'm gonna roll a joint.
for Canada.
Yeah, you would have to take 25 minutes, and that won't
I'll
take
do
that
my
long.
sausages.
Anything on what is actually
Yeah, I'll do it.
happening. It's a very disciplined, buttoned up kind of shop that, Jean Charest and Fabio Wolfable said, it looked like it was going okay. Yeah, then it wasn't. So
It looked like it was going okay, and then it wasn't.
I heard G7 because I heard,
Yeah, I think obviously not going well. And then 2 seconds ago, she was like, "Oh, it really makes sense."
The president saying that he just learned of this. Well, yeah,
Back up.
it was signed in 2024, but I believe this was a 2019 election promise, and it was mentioned in the fall economic statement of 2020. And there's no way that American officials were unaware of this. I think the United States might have had something.
I think that's why they're so upset, because they pointed out there's an issue.
Their pursuit of this around the same time as the election.
Maybe we'll do it tomorrow instead. Because my back really hurts, so I don't know what I did even. I've done that before where I literally have to like put my upper half of the body over the side of the bathtub because I can't really fucking fully get out yet and I'm gonna pass out. But if I pass out, I'll fall out of the bathtub, not in the bathtub. Okay.
You start with the president not knowing or saying that he's just learned of this. I recall, I think it was at the end of January, where there was a very dramatic Oval Office moment, and I was standing in the hallway waiting to come on, and someone from the then Prime Minister's office said, Do reporters think that the prime minister made definitely? And they said it's not going to happen until we get it in writing. And we were able to kind of cover that, so people got to go home on a Friday night. But I
Yeah, great. I'm glad you guys got to go home on a Friday night. Fuck you.
This is one of the tariff measures or whatever it was.
I don't think I've ever seen Truth Social on Truth
Why do
Social.
I give a fuck about you getting a Friday night off? Fucking piece of shit.
It could exist. I'm not sure. But I think that's the proper way to go.
Right. So on this issue,
Like, you guys do, like, the least amount of work humanly possible. That's gonna have 2 weeks and they're like, oh, vacation, bye.
Collapse in trade talks. I don't know if collapse is the right word, but whatever stats.
Yeah, that's what it is. This is collapse. We are collapsing. The real estate, I've never seen anything like that.
Services tax, but thought that since it was from the Justin Trudeau era,
There's nothing. There's literally nothing.
take care of it for them. Now listen to this.
We were hoping that the sign of goodwill would at least put a break on that. during
Oh,
the
wouldn't
trade
that have been
talks.
great?
They seem not to have. President Trump has responded, and my inclination is that Ambassador Greer over at USTR will be.
No!
One investigation into the digital services taxes to determine the amount of harm to the U.S. companies and the U.S. economy in general. James, I want to. There's this strange. The commentary you hear from the American officials, it's almost like they just say, "Oh, Canada should do this for us." You know, like, "Oh, it's a sign of goodwill.
Canada
Put a
should do
break
stuff.
on this."
They're
Because it's
doing
like, you're
stuff for
killing
us, not
steel
the other
jobs.
way around,
You know,
you
you're
fucking
threatening
nutty.
aluminum jobs, auto jobs are lost or on hold by the thousands. But they kind of expect would just drop this before actually getting a concession back from the United States.
Yeah, and they threw the first punch, right? And let's not forget as well that this authority and these policies that are put in place, including the other half, as I mentioned, of the Truth Social post of the president today, all of these things are happening of a free trade deal that Donald Trump demanded the negotiation of. We negotiated in good faith, and we ratified a trade deal that Donald Trump agreed to, and that he demanded the negotiation. So Canada is obeying the laws and the trade agreements and the global movement of goods and services under an agreement that Donald Trump negotiated and signed with great fanfare and celebration of his brilliance. So now he gets reelected from 45 to 47, then he comes in and starts attacking Canada. There's nothing, by the way, on the other side of this. There's nothing magical about the digital services tax in terms of what it means as a benefit for Canadian creators and their market audience. There's nothing that stops the government of Canada from creating other tools and other opportunities to support Canada's creative sector that would mean that you have to have in place a digital services tax or other ways of doing this. And then Premier Charest's suggestion in your previous segment there was an eloquent one. Right, which would be to say that we're going to have a timeout or a pause in digital services tax, and we're going to shelve the policy for, let's say, a calendar year while we re-examine policies that would be aligned with a renewed Canada-U.S. free trade agreement, so that our policies are aligned in a way to support the creative communities and ensure that there is parity between our countries and full access to each other's marketplaces in the rest of the world. There are things that you can do that would be beneficial to Canada and Prime Minister Carney, including from the carbon tax and a lot of policies. He has divorced himself from a lot of policies from the Trudeau era that he views as being accretive to Canada's economy and forward-lean and forward benefit. There's nothing to say that the digital services tax, we couldn't take a time out on it and shelve a lot of these policies, maybe not permanently, but certainly until we get not just past the tariff fight, but through the CUSMA renegotiations, and then put them back on the table in terms of what is the balance of policies we want to have in Canada relative to the benefit that we would have of tariff-free market access to the U.S. economy. I think that's probably a more sweeping, thorough approach to public policy that the country needs.
But James, don't you think you need to get something in return for doing that at this point in time? You know,
No,
if you were going to, knock off $3 billion of retroactive tax payments and $1 billion a year going forward, then the auto tariffs have to go away, the steel tariffs have to go away. Something
Poor
has to be,
Canadians.
because right now all steel, aluminum, auto, lumber. Twice as many people work in the lumber industry than work in steel and aluminum combined. The steel and aluminum are being attacked immediately by President Trump. But you could say extend the no tariff policy, and we will not bring in this new policy and implement it until we get to that schedule for calendar 26. Meanwhile, we will continue to have conversations about the broader trade relationship. That would be an elevated and responsible public policy approach. But you have to have two people at the table who are interested in elegant and responsible public policy.
A lot of words get thrown around, and this elegant is rarely used. Mel, what are your thoughts on that? I mean, from the Canadian side, it seems like I think James and Mr. Schreiber have more experience with this than I do, but there are ways to use the pause
And apparently women's wages
a
are
solution.
still not actually the equivalent of men. Like by 0.3% or whatever, 0.3%.
Totally, you need to be able to meet in the middle and find a path forward.
This is what
Folks here are
fucking
hurting,
women's rights is,
particularly in
fucking
the steel and aluminum industries, and that hurt is not going away anytime soon. So to your point, to take something off the table without anything in return, and when outbursts like this happen on regular, it's hard. It's a hard sell. The other thing that I just can't help but talk about the imagery of this week. I don't know what social platforms you live on. I live on Instagram, and I've just been bombarded by the Bezos wedding.
Yeah, I'm gonna listen to I'm sure that your fucking information is gonna be. I think so. I know you're gonna eat a couple.
Are you having a steak too?
I'll have a couple bites of your steaks.
Oh,
They're usually too peppery for me.
those are
All of them have too much
peppery.
spices. I don't like spices at all.
That's not peppery. It's decent. Just the package.
Caught on camera? Oh my god. He says he went to North Korea. I just watched the whole thing about fucking North Korea. Trump.
Oh.
But you know what? Like, that's exactly what Trudeau said about fucking Xi Jinping. That he likes that their fucking citizens are so loyal. Yeah, because they threaten their lives and their family. And you will disappear. If they see you fucking on camera being like dissing the fucking government, they're gonna fucking make you disappear. And your family.
Yeah, you send you in a working camp. I was downstairs.
Okay, maybe there's a sec.
Oh no, that's what I'm telling you. What am I doing?
Oh, you know, Putin every year does an annual 4-hour-long questions and answers from literally anybody, and he does not skip any of them. He literally told like a little girl, she's like, "What would be your 3 wishes be?" And he was like, "Well, to be honest, I think it's better that there's an old proverb, Russian proverb, that Russians don't need anybody and we do things ourselves. So it's not good to rely on wishes." Like, it's just a little girl. It's not the right answer. Like, you just crushed her dreams.
Straight up.
You just crushed a little child's dreams. Like, fucking don't have wishes.
No wishes for the Rush.
It's great. I love it. 4 hours. That's a fucking long time. Jesus Christ.
Everybody's got like 30 seconds.
And they say, Putin's in control of all the fucking internet and shit, and he censors it all. I'm like, not once have I ever heard someone say that. Like, uh-oh. Okay, now here's what you want to hear.
The knife is stuck on the computer when you lift it.
Yeah, no, that's just. This is what you wanted to hear.
Yes,
Right.
I'm sure it is.
Trump ends all trade with Canada because of Mark Carney.
There you go.
4 hours ago. Boy, I love fucking seeing the mainstream news. It'll be like 9 years ago. I'm like, yeah, perfect. News from 9 years ago. Exactly what everyone's looking for.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, right? Like, it's like the dead cat on the table. Trump thing, dead cat on the table. I'm like, oh, it works so good though. Like, people fucking brains. It's not shiny and flashy. Here, get points. Like, fucking, they're like, dude, look, okay, I've had that points card for SAQ for fucking years. Like, since when I lived in Chateauguay, I have $4 on it. I'm like, I guess that just means I'm not an alcoholic, but yeah, and I've used it for years, and I only have $4 up until this point. I'm like, I'm like not a big drinker, but like years, like.
Just been informed that Canada free with including the fact that they have charged our farmers as much as 400% tariff for years on dairy products, has just announced they are putting a digital service tax on our American technology companies, which is a direct and blatant attack on our country. They are obviously copying the European
That means they take
Union,
control of
which has done
Canada
the
because they
same
much
discussion
that he's going to take control over that fucking.
based
You
on
said
this.
we said they're copying the European. So what?
But they have the money. They're the upper
How
class.
was sent
We're
by the
too
European?
poor. There's a majority of poor people here. The reason it works over there because the majority they're rich. So it works. You're catering to your audience. Just lie to all the fucking population here about being like, hey, basically what Trump said. Hey, I'm rich. Do you want to be rich too? Vote for
That
me.
Mr. Sunshine Baby.
Yeah.
You got super
Good
fast.
job, Mark Carney. Just pissed off the most powerful person in the most powerful country.
Yeah.
And our
Yeah,
biggest.
Because you
ally.
guys can't fucking do your fucking job.
Anyway, back to the regular schedule. Well, it's never been more obvious than now that Prime Minister Carney is a total fraud. I mean,
Wow, who could have foreseen this? Was it unprecedented?
Trump,
Like,
China,
I must be a
I'm
political
saying
genius. I must fucking like have sixth sense. Like,
massive threats.
and they're like, oh, we never saw this coming. Like, oh, you didn't.
I
Like,
mean, even while he's doing these dollar to dollar,
Probably wanted
to
fucking-
everything else.
not what he promised, but
But here it is again, threatening to impose it on America if they continue their threat to us. And also, President Trump signed a new trade deal with China. That's right. Kind of crazy.
yeah, because he tells them what to do and they do it.
And
And they're like, oh, fucking Trump's just like fucking starting fights with everyone. Everybody else folded. Everybody else said, oh, no. We'll cooperate.
Hey, if that's your cup of tea, then sounds
Ah,
like we'll be
sorry.
having. Well,
Sorry, baby.
Go back to the channel.
We're good.
Ah! Before we get into it, I do really want to bring it on just like
Oh.
but let's pump those numbers. You know, let's take a look at some.
Get to it, dude.
Fast forward.
Prime Minister Mark Carney can now say he kept his first major political promise, turning legislation to fast track major projects into law without Canada Day. Bill C5 passed the Senate yesterday and received royal assent.
Okay, so his boss told him to do something, and he didn't.
Adopted. The bill is aimed at boosting Canada's economy and
No,
reducing dependence
UK
on the
is coming to
United
take over
States.
Canada.
Yeah.
It opens up interprovincial
Where's
trade.
where's
barriers.
Snowco?
Legally.
But it
No,
also
we're
makes
not.
it
We're not.
easier to greenlight projects that it deems to be in the national interest. Projects like pipelines,
Canada Day's
mines,
canceled
and highways.
because there's no federal budget. How are cities supposed to fucking make do anything financially? And they're like, don't worry about it. There's no budget. There's no money to give them. We don't have Canada Day again this year.
This dismantles federal trade and labor restrictions across provinces. And third, two allows faster federal approval of key projects by streamlining permits. Yet it raises serious indigenous rights, environmental, and democratic.
Oh yeah, the natives are fucking
concerns.
pissed. Like,
So it's almost like government basically trying to use emergency powers to do whatever they want, however they want, whenever they want. Yeah. Where have we seen that before?
C5, we
All the
rushed through
third world
comments in the
countries that we
Senate in a
fucking
sense
say
down
that's
just
wrong.
a matter of weeks to meet that deadline of Canada Day, the Prime Minister said. It's law now, so what happens now?
Well, of course, just passing this into law doesn't build any projects. It doesn't fund any projects.
Okay,
It
so what
doesn't
they
help
said.
approve any projects. Notwithstanding the dire warnings about what some felt were draconian measures in this bill, we are not waking up this morning to a country that exists now as a rules-free zone. For major infrastructure.
no, it's a
We'll
fucking
see, though,
tyrannical
whether
fucking.
easing up on the regulatory burden helps strike the better balance that fans of this bill said was necessary. The Prime Minister heard loud and clear from a
Yeah, we do that all the time. We heard you. Now, time to wrap it up, and we're gonna build the pipeline. Like,
He is
exactly what
committed
Trudeau did
to
last
We heard you not moving
spending
That's exactly what he did last
now,
time.
in
Like
key
what? I went and talked to
conversations
them.
with
Like,
trying
yeah,
to
but
set that right.
there was no
Anytime
conclusion,
he
like
would
usual.
pass, you run the risk of breaking things. Paula Simons was one of many senators quite uncomfortable.
If you're a child in
with
a
how
fucking
the
glass,
Senate
a store full
got
of glass,
squeezed in
but
the end here,
I can run
because
and
of
not
the Prime
break shit.
Minister's July 1st deadline.
Yeah, July 1st deadline is absolutely ludicrous. I mean, it's
Huh?
right around the corner. It's next week. I mean, this is why that he's trying to push this through this.
Yeah, but he's
Seems
lying.
like he's trying to go for a legacy at this point, and he will not solve anything. Again, who do that remind you of?
Trudeau.
Trudeau?
There's a convention that says that if a prime minister runs on a topic, we had it in the platform, that we, the appointed house, show proper deference to the elected House of Commons.
I don't
And
even
so we did
understand
our
what
job
you're
of
doing with
laying
that.
out all our concerns very clearly. And that way, if something does go
That's
sideways,
the most
we'll have
unclear thing I've
some
heard so
dubious
far.
pleasure
I don't even
being able
understand
to
what
say,
you said. That's not what you said. Like,
Well,
word salad.
we warned people against it, yet here we are, that.
Maybe I'm just repeating it,
But you're not, though.
No, I know I'm not. I know I'm not. When people are like, well, we didn't know. It's like, yeah, you didn't know for the first time, the second time, the third time. Like,
This entire year to
but
get.
no one says anything. And no one does it.
So here we are with this emergency powers bill that allows them to approve.
People
Allows
still
my
have
friend
bank
to do
accounts and credit
whatever,
cards,
however,
electric vehicles.
with no repercussions.
My credit went up 13 last month.
Yeah, but you're gonna fuck the system.
Right?
Use the system and fucking work with it to make it fucking work to your advantage.
The government's
Because
response.
there's no point
to
in fighting it.
US President
It doesn't be
Donald
cheaper to
Trump's
home.
tariffs. And these numbers will show is one of the hardest hit by Trump's trade war. It started back in March when the U.S. slapped a 25% tariff on Canadian
And we tried to not
steel.
talk about it
Fast
up until
forward to
now.
June, and that tariff doubled to 50%.
So they're like, don't worry about it, it'll be fine.
91% of Canadian steel exports are
He's a
massive impact on the industry and on their workers. Nearly 1,000 steel jobs have been lost so far. Now, Canada has not yet retaliated. Instead, Prime Minister Carney set a 30-day deadline to get an overall
Okay, and then 30
security
days,
deal
30 days,
with the
30
United
days.
States.
Yeah.
Well, people are being close then about it.
within days, within weeks, is there that kind of runway?
Yeah, it's when both parties have to agree. Sure.
Okay, that's the first deadline, and just last week, Mark Carney set another deadline.
And he actually follows through on the shit that he said he's gonna do. Like, and people are like, oh, he's crazy. He will never do that, and then he does. Every time.
Every time you hear somebody talk about the fact that Mark Carney in Canada is going to retaliate on the tariffs, like, you literally
You have no bargaining. You fucking no collateral.
So how are we
Time to start fucking begging for fucking forgiveness at this point.
you literally
Hope that fucking they don't fucking
put them on?
take everything away from Canada.
I mean, I'm gonna give you
Make it a
password.
fucking army base.
Am I going mental here? You.
Bring back the draft or something.
Government brought in new procurement measures to make sure government projects use Canadian steel. And they brought in new quota measures to prevent other countries from
Shipping
dumping
steel
cheap
is
steel
probably
into
like
the Canadian
makes it
market.
one of the most fucking expensive
We
things to
must
fucking ship.
reinforce
So
our strength at home and safeguard Canadian workers and businesses
Wah,
from the
wah, wah,
unjust
wah,
US
wah,
tariffs
wah, wah.
that
Same script.
exist at present.
Same fucking nothing script.
I mean, you know what's crazy is that this is what.
At least Trudeau would go off script sometimes. Like he'd usually fuck it. Sometimes he'd be like, you know, we need to a bottle.
Metal water bottle.
Yeah, but at least he's trying to go off script. This guy is like fucking. He doesn't even like try to duck the question. He just says something that isn't an answer. And he goes, "Okay, next." I'm like, okay, what?
Whenever they want, there's so many loopholes. It doesn't mean it's unjust. It's quite literally justified. The whole thing began because our border with you.
Oh my God, was Trump right?
Here in
Huh.
Canada, specifically in
Yeah.
and we
What?
were supposed to fix those things and didn't get them.
Now we know.
Drug us every week, and I don't know if our border is that good. considering-
when drugs won the war on
Yeah.
drugs.
Congratulations to drugs for winning the war on drugs.
Yeah, that's true though. We do have terrorists that are hiding here in Canada.
Making us look like a bunch of fucking.
Your statement expressed disappointment with the government's
Disappointment.
response, saying it fell short. I do think that they're sensing the urgency of the crisis that your industry is facing.
Your own government.
Yes, I do think they're sensing the urgency. The
Talk about your
issue
own
here
team.
for
You're
us is the
disappointed.
details matter. As you point out in your intro, new measures that we were banking on that were really going to help us in
Like
the
what?
immediate
Measures of what?
circumstance.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like
That's
what
the tariff
specifically?
rate quota and other trade measures on
Like
global
what
capacity.
trade?
Right, so the
Other
tariff
than
quota is just
aluminum and trees.
Yeah, but what
There are a
measures?
bunch of countries we do not have trade deals with as a country. Canada that has
Oh,
a certain amount of
why?
steel that economies at lower prices and lower wage standards than the Canadian.
And why are you talking
producers
about
have.
other countries?
The
Why is that
government set a
relevant?
tariff at 100% of what came into the country in 2024 can come in. Anything above that is hit with the tariff. So that stops a surge of steel being dumped in Canada to get around the U.S. tariff, but it doesn't. It was already coming in, so it doesn't give you any more breathing space in the Canadian market. Correct?
Right, exactly. That's the
Okay.
context I wanted to remind viewers of, which is that we've lost market for 6.5 million tons of steel. That's half of our market, of our production. So with
my
the US at 50% market,
Yeah, but what is
that's 6.5 million
half of the
tons.
market?
And so our
Steel
hope
fucking
was
market
that
is a
the
huge
measures
market.
enacted by the
To ship
government would give
It's a,
us
it
that
makes it the
breathing
most
room
expensive
within our
product
own
to
market.
ship.
In other words, in Canada, where we can control what we can do.
Right.
No one
So,
wants to buy from
because
Canada.
there's two
They can
groups
make
of
it
company-
themselves, and
countries
it's
I know
so
you're
heavy,
worried about.
it's
One
too
is
much
Canada
to
has a
fucking
trade agreement with,
bring
and
all the
one
way
is
across the
not.
fucking
With
world.
this
Why would they
particular
do that?
group, no trade deal.
They,
Why
they're
they
more than
reduce
capable
the- why
of
they
getting
push
all
the
these
quota
products
lower?
themselves.
You know,
Or from
I think
somebody
that we're
else.
on a journey. The points
Baby!
and trying to
Baby!
understand the announcement.
answer.
It was complicated. We also had to search it in detail. And what we see, we think, is that Canada, in the rush to act, which we
Hey, no breaking this
appreciated,
out.
perhaps
Breaking
went
your
to
own
what
rule.
they knew, which was the approach taken in 2018.
This
And
is the
the
best
reality
gravy
is, David, and we
sauce
spoke about this
fucking
last
ever.
time. 2018. This is not the first
Straight
terrible,
blood.
that we experienced. This is much more dramatic.
Straight
This is
blood,
first
baby!
of all, a tariff, and it's surrounded by a
What?
significant amount of additional
You
uncertainty.
want one in your plate? You need it in my plate.
So, you know, that the instinct of working fast was great, but sticking with what they did is not sufficient by any stretch of the imagination for today's situation.
Yeah, big nothing burger. I'm pretty sure that everybody got that so far. They drag things on so long because they're like, oh, we need content and we don't have any, so we're gonna make something seem like it's like and prolong it as long as they possibly can. God.
No, that's not what I asked. Well, you know, since it is
It didn't, bro.
we're going to raise the price alongside it.
How about that?
How much money came in on this?
Stop breaking everything. Got it.
I'll play fair. Well, first I'd like to say that I'm standing on so and so land.
What are you doing?
You want some of that gravy on your taters? That's the blood.
No. I will literally fucking either puke or pass out.
No, it's actual gravy. That's how they make.
So because of all the other underlying economic uncertainty, they just didn't want to cut off
Oh
the
my
sources of
fucking
cheap steel
God.
to people who were like, is that a motivating
I
factor here?
think there is a concern out there about essentially
Yeah, they do that to
supply
cover up any
shocks.
fucking
So, you know, I
Sometimes they
understand
do
that
that's it.
concern, as does
Gravy
my
when it's
entire
tastes
board,
like
the
cinnamon,
leadership of the steel
means
industry.
old gravy.
Yeah.
Oh,
Was
it's
a
nice.
slightly more helpful step, and then to work with the government in lockstep to ensure those supply disruptions, you know. So we offer that to the government, you know, let's be mindful that the supply shocks, you know,
Whenever someone says that to me, I put a punch them right in the
places that
fucking
we have
mouth.
to
Punching that dick.
right in the fucking mouth to make sure that we have it. And there's another difference between 2018 and now, David, and I think the supply shocks in 2018 did exist, but again, tariffs, so we still have product moving to the United States. Now we don't,
Yeah.
you know, it's very, very reduced anyway.
Yeah, and this is the challenge. You look at like
Wow, they fucking they're like, haha, it's kind of funny actually. It's like, oh yeah, I bet for you.
Funny, not
Like,
funny.
Yeah, funny, not funny. Like,
If this goes under, so
yeah,
I
fuck you.
appreciate that you're trying to you want the space in the domestic market, but pivoting to that will take time, right? And I know the last time we spoke was 700 to 1,000 jobs that have been lost because of this, but at a 50% tariff, it's not going to be 2,000 jobs. It's going to be exponential. So where are things now as we look towards the July 6th?
Not only will we lose our trading partners and our businesses will go under, like everyone's gonna get fired from these places. Like, and the businesses
We
will go
are,
completely
I am talking
bankrupt.
to my board, they're preparing.
We barely have any
for
businesses
small
left,
job
like,
loss,
that aren't corporations that are from
Things
other
ahead.
countries.
Before July 16th, before
I hope Yes, it's an unpredictable environment, but
Oh,
we're
Perks.
all working as
Oh,
fast as
Perks.
possible to try to get
Hey,
supports in place. to
You
prevent
know
that.
what? Poor
Everybody
people,
wants to
they're not
prevent
allowed to have
job
hope
losses, so
or
that's why I
faith.
can't give you up for sleep.
Usually, you will be very disappointed.
But the pressures are immense. There's, order book challenges.
And then for
There's
some reason, you can't be like, it was God's fault that you fucked me over.
loss of
Still your fault.
customers, even customers that
I took a bite and that
we're willing to
sausage
take a
exploded
chance
in my
now
face
since
and it burned all
G7,
over.
Oh,
they
no.
really are not.
I do like chicken pot pies.
This out,
Oh.
can like get kicked down. farther and
Fucking,
farther.
it cools down and the
No,
inside
it's
fucking
a
like
really
in my mouth.
liquid and
crisis. The
Yeah.
circumstances couldn't be more
My
dire.
face hurts.
It's the fact that we have such piss poor leadership.
Shit.
Why?
Instead
of trying to ping pong against
What is
America,
Coca-Cola?
why is it so hard for a Canadian official? And I mean, please, aren't you
Thanks for cooking on me.
particular?
Well, I'm, I get
Thank you so much this week.
What do you want? What
I
can
didn't
we
see
do?
it all.
Let's all work together so we can all get.
I saw you.
Good
Now you get into that, maybe like,
money and securing our defense because we've got.
Defense,
threats from
oh my
other
God.
people.
No one's
Why
coming
is that
after
so
us, like,
far? We're gonna
We don't need to
be
fucking up our defenses. Like, we have nothing left for people to come hate.
Our voters,
Welcome to the club.
you know what?
Great, you don't even have to lock your door anymore. Come on in. Try to be a light. Go for it.
It's at the front door because the cops told us to leave it at the front door.
The United States
Apparently,
and
there's
China have
like
agreed to the framework
broken
free
Teslas
trade
all
deal.
over the place because we have to
Confirmed
pull
by
away
both
from all
countries
the other
today, the
cars.
agreement includes a
Because
major
if they're fucking
concession
in a
for
lot,
Beijing.
they'll catch
China will
fire.
expedite
Sitting there in the
export
fucking whatever, they
licenses
catch
for
fire.
minerals vital to U.S. industries. In return, Washington will lift several restrictions on Chinese
It's like
technology.
kind of like 50% of like a requirement to making a
Officials say the
vehicle
deal
is to
was
make sure
finalized
that
after talks in
doesn't do
Geneva
things
and
like
London.
catch fire.
U.S. Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick called it signed
Hey,
and
baby.
sealed, marking a breakthrough in these intentions between the world.
Want all the sausages in your plate?
发言人也就此发表了有关的评论。
But I think we can rinse this.
我们希望美方同中方一道
Okay, fine, fuck.
落实两
You're
国
gonna
元
put
首
oil
通
all
话
over the
达
stuff.
成的重要
Okay.
共识，
Rub it off.
发挥中美经贸磋商机制的作用。
Because you're
I love the new Japanese fucking president. I really like him a lot. I like that he
That's
stood
China.
up
That's
in
Xi
front of-
Jinping.
可持续发展。
No, but the Japanese guy, he stood up in front of all the world leaders on Hiroshima.
Yeah, I
The
saw
memorial
that.
Hiroshima. He was like, "This is an important spot, and it's an important day." And let's not like look at like this horribly sad day. Let's look at it as a learning day because we're all here and we're all friends. Everything's great, but remember what it could have been.
Right?
Yeah, but no one even fucking gave a shit. No one even listened to his great speech. I thought it was awesome.
I mean, that's a real good negotiator. Somebody
Fucking everybody loves Japan. No one's like I went to Japan and I had a fucking shit ass time. Like,
for that country, America first.
it's like no judgment over Japan.
Totally awesome badass.
Always gonna be someone weirder than
What's
you.
Canada? Sell ourselves to Europe instead of America because of a little fight.
Huh?
So we're gonna run away from that relationship and
No.
start a new one abroad.
Spit it.
It's
It's a dog.
weird what's going on. But
It's so chewy. Why I hate steak. When I was a little kid, I sit there, I used to chew soup, and I start almost throwing up because it's like mush in my mouth,
Oh,
but
yeah?
it's not chewed enough that I can swallow it.
And it's not gonna be good for
I like the fact not like
Senator Gabriel
steaks.
Smith argues a recent
I
by-election.
like them well done, and every time I say that, they're like, "What?"
Has
Like,
never
yeah, well
promoted
done, not
support.
burned. They're like, "Okay." I'm like, "Yeah, deep
This
judgy of my
is
steak."
well done.
About 17% of the vote.
No.
I take that
Well,
seriously,
no blood.
and I hope
There's
that
no
the
blood.
federal government takes that seriously.
The girl was
Smith believes
outside.
separatist sentiments were created by Ottawa. She argues that
Like
government fix it,
a roast beef.
pitching proposals like coast-to-coast oil and gas shipping
There's
access.
still a bunch of
If,
pink on the
dangerous
inside.
changes that
No,
were
I like no
requested,
pink. I want
and
it
I-
to be
I
like.
support
Okay,
that
fine,
taking
sorry.
your own-
No, but that's why I always
Federal
say
Minister
because like
Chrysler
it's
Freeland also
not super yummy when it's. I guess
conference.
for
He
most
points
people
to
it's more
the
yummy when it
legislation
is not
gives
fully
Ottawa
cooked,
the
but
power to fast-track
the only way I
projects
can
in the
throw it
national
out.
economy.
She says Ottawa wants to build with Alberta. That's going to be great
Hey!
for Alberta.
Right,
It's
what's
gonna
up,
be
Milan?
great for
Oh, someone's
Canada.
receding.
And I think that's actually what Albertans want. I think it's what Canadians want.
What?
Former Deputy Premier Thomas Lukaszuk says he believes the Alberta Republican Party failed to snag a seat in the legislature.
It was
for
a joke.
reason.
I think she was making a joke, and then fucking everyone was expecting Quebec to be like, "Oh, well, Alberta's gonna fucking separate their fucking we have to separate first," and they didn't do that. They were like, "Yeah, no, definitely Alberta should separate." And I think she didn't think they were gonna do that. I would never think that they were gonna do that, and it kind of backfired on her because then it started making it a real conversation again, which is obviously every time. Why are we talking about this? We already done this so many times. It's not gonna work. It's anti-Canadian. They'll get taken by the state immediately
Yeah.
because they want to keep their military. All the Quebec fucking military bases.
No.
Yeah, no.
Canadian
You
military is
give it
dead.
back. You're not part of fucking Canada. Why would you get to keep that? Like, fucking retarded. It's not an actual conversation, but EQ's way of making themselves part of the conversation.
Due to these concerns, she pointed back to the federal government.
This is really in Ottawa's hands.
In the stage, she just fucking put all the backdrop for it. It's her idea. She's like, oh, it's in their hands.
What's it gonna be called? We're gonna remain Alberta and part of America? Look where you guys are theories down for that. If you have it already, so looking for you guys. It's like when.
I think Alberta was just stirring the pot. Fucking, because they're all about that fucking. Alberta is the epitome of Canadian pride. Like, they're like the fucking Georgia, fucking in America of Canada.
Joe Rogan, when Tucker Carlson changed his mind on aliens.
On the what?
On aliens.
Oh.
Idiot.
Moron? I like him because he knows he's a moron.
Oh, I was reading this morning. One death on the beach. A guy got struck by lightning on his honeymoon on the beach, died on the spot. And that other lifeguard lady on the beach, the parasol flew off the wind so high in the sky, and when it landed, it impaled her in the fucking shoulder. She survived though. She went to the hospital. Impaled her in the shoulder and went out back the back. Like, what the fuck? It's like, okay, so the moral of the lesson of the day is do not go to beaches.
Yeah, because even if there's like lifeguards, the lifeguards are almost dying. Like, blame it on fucking
Well, you
climate.
get struck by lightning.
Yeah, blame it on climate change though.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, we're putting something.
Alright, your tonsils are finally fucking done. I'm out of water, so.
Tabarnak!
Asti, Tabarnak, calling
Go!
Tongi, rubber boots.
Zombie rubber boots! Zombie rubber boots. Yeah. Baby! Applause!
Yeah, no, I told you, it's like fucking dial slow.
Trump ended another war. What? 3 hours ago.
What? I want to know what Benjamin Netanyahu is fucking doing. I want to know, I know what he's going to do. He's going to go to Trump. He's going to be like, oh, no, I didn't mean you any offense. You know that you're one of my, you're so close to me. I respect you. Trump's going to be like, Trump's easy. Butter him up and he'll be like, okay, well, listen. He'll try to like Big Brother.
I don't know
like,
really. Wait, what?
Destruction comes to an end.
What?
The entire region begins a new chapter of hope and opportunity, harmony, prosperity.
Ukraine or Gaza?
Wait, he's ending another war?
Why is that surprising?
A friend of mine who's very much involved.
Wait, so this one's live?
At least six.
I'm watching a live.
During that period of time, it's incredible. And somebody said that.
No, that was 3 hours
actually
ago.
the biggest
Live
war
right now.
on it Since World War II. It's a shame. But we're going to bring it to an end. I want to express my gratitude and congratulations to the.
Your sausages are fucking spicy.
Democratic Republic of the Congo and the Republic of Rwanda,
No,
who signed this pivotal agreement a short time ago. They just signed right in front. And let me also thank Secretary of State
Well,
Marco
like a
Rubio, who's
genocide
worked
going
very
on.
hard on this project. And we worked
right?
together
Like,
for his outstanding.
the genocide going on. Yes, there is. There is a genocide, yes.
This is
And
crazy.
Africa
So
Affairs,
crazy, man.
Mossad, Poulos, who's, as you know,
What, crazy that Trump did the thing he said he was gonna do, like he always does? You guys are like, what a crazy coup.
What they did? I wasn't uncomfortable, and that's what you need. You need somebody that's gonna be able to give some aside. I want
Get her done.
an amazing guy, actually.
I don't give a shit about liking
also
you.
want to thank
Fucking, I want someone who's gonna get shit done
Qatar, Togo.
without fucking making more damage to other people.
And I know Qatar was really working hard, and
Those are our
African
boys now.
Union, we just spoke about.
You're
that.
fucking such a
I look
basic
forward to
girl,
having
man.
them
Boys
representatives
now.
do the official meeting, and that will be sometime in July. I really look forward to it, and you better be here covering it, okay? We're not gonna send anybody else covering it with you. But this is a tremendous breakthrough. In a few short months, we'll now achieve peace between India and Pakistan, Israel and Iran, and the DRC and Rwanda, and a couple of other.
Then you guys fucking feel real fucking dumb now.
To go to war.
JD's losing weight. No, you're just looking at too many memes.
I wanted to mention, because it didn't happen, we were able to stop it, but I have a friend in Serbia, and they said we're gonna go to war again.
Ukraine next.
I won't mention this Kosovo, but
Can you shut the fuck up? Oh my
we're gonna
god.
have a big time war. We stopped it. We stopped it because of trade. They want to trade with the United States. I said we don't trade with people that go to war. And we said that also with.
Oh my God,
take a
you're
look at
fucking
Pakistan
yummy.
and India. It was great. They
Nominated Trump for the Nobel Peace Prize.
Stop it. It's a big fight.
Fuck yeah!
The government of Pakistan did.
Very bad. They are nuclear nations, very powerful nuclear nations. In the months
Those are
and years
boys now.
ahead, my administration will continue to work
Well,
closely.
they got
with
caught.
all
Like, and
parties
people
to
were like,
scale
hey, something doesn't seem fair right here. And they're like, no.
Hopefully,
We're the governments. Why do you hire us for this?
taken
Like,
care of, and you're gonna do what's in the agreement.
Trust
So
us,
you
we're doing the
gotta
right
do
thing.
what's in that agreement, right? Because if somebody fails to do that, bad things happen. But I have a feeling that after 30 years, I think after 30 years, you will say, I think both of you have said that's enough, right? That's enough. You've seen it all. So this
Yeah, but
is
fucking they
a
don't mean it.
wonderful day. It's a great day. We've had some tremendous success. It's been a great week between just coming back from a very successful trip.
35 years.
NATO's
I'm
really
really
come
smart.
together.
Yeah.
It's gonna be, they're gonna spend a year.
That's so good.
We expected a thing like that to happen. And we had the war, as you know, we call it the 12-day war. It was exactly a 12-day war. We ended up with no nuclear weapons. That's what we wanted. They were just absolutely blown to pieces.
I love that he
And,
just
there's no nuclear
never
weapons, and hopefully
scripted.
there can be a lot of healing.
Unless he's doing like a show that people rally, and it's like he has a teleprompter, and then usually he's like, ah, fuck it, he just goes off script.
And it was something that I really look forward to. If we can do this, and we do that because we have a certain confidence, it's good.
Yeah, definitely a good thing.
People can be peaceful.
If I got
I think we can
it
do
flat a
more
little
better
bit, it was
than
better.
anybody, but we don't. And we have the greatest military in the world. They showed that in Iran. Those pilots that flew for
Oh, they're super
36
busy.
hours.
Oh, fuck, shit.
And
Yeah.
think of that, and they hit their target.
Halfway through
The
season
size of
one.
this nest, half the size of this nest, about 52,000 feet in the dark of night with no moon, zero moon. They
That's
wanted it
Syria.
that way. Can you
On
believe it?
Christmas fucking
And
day,
hit every
at the
mission,
middle
hit
of the night,
exactly
he literally
half the size of
got rid of
the
ISIS.
blue gas.
Like, fucking, he literally got rid of ISIS.
Rockets.
But they don't celebrate Christmas, so it didn't care.
No, it's Christmas here. Continuing, like, Merry Christmas, America, we're safe. And I stopped the terrorists.
Nobody has that weaponry, and nobody can do a thing like that.
Yeah.
So we had a
I don't know what
very
this has to
busy.
do.
Yeah, but there was nothing left already. It really was terrorist groups that kind of, what do you call it?
Good things happening.
Whatever was left of that
This is
fucking
about
Syria.
Congo and Rwanda. And I'd like to add to my mic.
Can we bring your plate upstairs?
Yes, please.
Yes.
Oh, they're different sizes.
Are they?
Maybe I'm wrong. No, it's the shadow, maybe? No, they are different sizes. Small one. Big, small. Oh, I thought it was fucking hallucinating.
We have signed today the final, this is actually the final piece. You know, many people were wondering, this is the actual final piece that we signed today. You've also expressed interest in the heads of states to the White House
for the signing ceremony. So there will be some other
That's done, yeah.
sign,
So it's actually just done.
which will become known as the Washington Accord with regards to the extension. There are some.
Why not the Trump Accord? I'm only kidding. I think we had that. Yeah, I think that's a great Washington.
God.
And there's an economic.
Oh, are you tired of winning yet?
Oh,
What's
wow.
happening?
Last week.
There's a war in Africa and Trump was instrumental in making it stop.
Which both countries will be signing at the White House during that ceremony. And
That's going to be a great ceremony.
absolutely.
Which is great, right?
Great ceremony. And bring other people that were involved, some other people. Besides the gentleman we talked about, who we know has worked so hard, if you think there are other people that are deserving, let us know. Okay?
Is we're negotiating a minimum fee with the DRC for critical minerals. Many companies have shown interest in investing in the DRC, and this we're talking about long-term investment. Same thing with Rwanda. Many American companies have shown interest, and not only in mining, but also in midstream and downstream.
See, this is what really matters.
Is this on Putin's behalf? Is this on Russia's behalf?
And we get all the special rocks.
Just 2 days
Yep.
ago, signed.
That's the big one. We get all the shiny rocks.
Oh God, you're very annoying.
Right, from
Loop farming, that's right.
There are many other projects that take nature like that. So we will be under the leadership, President of the world.
Does Trump keeps his up, you want him for another term? What's your take on bringing that person home? I think one of these guys
A
could
lot of
do
our
it.
companies are in both of these countries now, especially since we've been getting
Boy,
along.
what are you
so well.
doing?
It's probably the way we were brought together.
What are you eating?
And Europe and all of the other things that they do in Africa, which is very greatly expanded,
Yeah.
especially in these two countries. You have Earth, they consider it to be the best in the world, actually, I've heard. So we're doing a lot of different things, and it's all gonna bring everybody together.
Those shiny
So,
rocks.
Yeah, I guess.
Yep.
The big thing for me, is getting a peace treaty with two countries that have been fighting for 30 years.
Well,
30 years?
so look at that.
Well, if you.
What?
Yeah, there you go.
So in front of you, as you said, sir, these are the actual agreements that were signed
Wow.
respectively by the foreign ministers, Democrat and Rwanda earlier today, witnessed by Secretary Rubio. We've also prepared for you two letters. This is to President Paul Kagame of Rwanda, expressing your appreciation and congratulations
That's with you.
for everything that's happened already. And of course, it's fighting in
1996.
Washington, whereas Dr. Lewis said, what we don't
Yeah, the Houthis are the tutus. I learned about that shit in like grade 4.
Peace and prosperity.
Because they fucking it.
And that's it.
That's good. That's beautiful.
That's beautiful.
Wow. There it is. It's older than me, yeah.
As soon as this is over, they're gonna put on the fast moving photographer, that.
Oh my God. It's
Yeah.
getting really bad, yeah.
What do you mean bad? This is great. What are you talking
This is today, Democrat Republic of Congo, again, congratulating him and inviting him to Washington, D.C. for the final conclusion of the
Man.
agreement, hopefully soon.
More content.
I hate
Great.
you. You're fucking garbage. The cabbage. Give him that
Well, yeah,
cabbage.
that's awesome.
You take this pen.
Wow, look at that. Someone's doing their job.
You need to say a few words.
No, right? Like,
And
and they're like, wow, like that fast? It's like, yeah, that fast. Here's the crazy thing. You just stop dropping bombs on people.
And second, let me say congratulations to the
C'est
president.
pas compliqué, là.
I think
Children was wrong. We thought they were terrorists.
peace. But to my fellow Americans, this is really a celebratory moment. This is a moment for our country.
Yeah, it's
because
huge.
under the president's
30
leadership,
years
So
of
huge.
war.
well, what's
What the
30
fuck?
years of killing and war, the worst war in terms of death count since World War II, and now
Oh,
we're on
man.
a pathway to peace. And so if
Oh,
I
Donald Trump is on right
for
now.
30 years, pretty much
The amount of people that were like, what the fuck is this guy talking about?
much of the
Right?
story has been
People have had
fighting
fucking
for
lifetime
power.
careers saying they were going to do this, and he
Now,
literally just
look
did it in
forward
like
to
a few
the
days.
future Where my children will look at this moment as
story of prosperity and of peace. So
Oh my
thanks to
God.
the president, congratulations to the entire team and to my fellow Americans.
8
You should all be
million
really
deaths.
proud because it's amazing what active presidential leadership can accomplish when it's geared towards peace and prosperity. And that's what we have in the Oval Office right now. So,
Yeah, but you guys already blew everybody up.
Dan Marco,
And
I'm going to ask the two principals to speak.
Yes, sir. First of all, thank you. When I first came on this job,
Holy fucking shit.
What the priority of this administration under your leadership is going to be the pursuit of peace.
You are blind to the world's
And from day
problems.
one, whether it's been in Ukraine and Russia, whether
True.
it's been Pakistan, India, whether it's been Iran and Israel, and in the continent of Africa, your priority's been on peace. And today we see this come to fruition. It's sad. War's gonna, but peace is harder than war. A lot harder.
People profit off war, and Trump doesn't need to fucking profit